All right. We're all here to talk about documentation. Yeah, the big fun thing that everybody wants to do, honestly. All right, the reason why documentation is very important, it's useful to new users to get around their new systems. It's a great reference to even advanced users like us, or some people. Less questions for the mailing lists, the RCs, and our forums. Currently, our documentations are quite a bit all over the place. Some the Ubuntu manual is on the Launchpad. Ubuntu manual is on the Launchpad as well, but Ubuntu GNOME is still on the wiki. There's no manual for it. Ubuntu are on Launchpad, and Ubuntu docs are on user base for the KD forms. Yeah, it's also a wiki. These are the languages that all the documentations are in. Media Wiki for Ubuntu, Muon, Ubuntu is in DocBook, Ubuntu and Lubuntu is in LaTeX. Ubuntu based off of the Ubuntu manual, that's why they chose the same language. This is LaTeX. Anybody familiar with LaTeX? Anybody want to learn LaTeX? Then you're probably going to like the next slide better then. Restructured text. It's a markdown type language. Do we like this better? It looks easier to learn, right? So why are we? It's very similar layout. I was picking restructured text because of a backend called a Sphinx doc that allows you to use their database to export to HTML, prepare a site for you, and allowing the CSS and HTML so you can edit and theme it as you see fit. And Sphinx docs allows you to export to ebook and PDF. So everyone can, the users can gather the materials a lot easier in different formats. Like I was just talking about. HTML support, PDF, ebook, version control. I was talking about the CSS, HTML you can easily edit. There is support for GitHub, and Launchpad now has limited support at Git as well, so you could do both if you wish. And they allow translation. I was talking with the Ubuntu docs people, and they were looking into doing the restructured text as well, and they've decided to use the instruction installation guide as a core sample because it doesn't have really much translations on it. And we were looking at it actually uses the PO files for translation. Sphinx does the same type that Launchpad uses, so those translations won't go to waste. So write documentation, restructure text. First proposal. Upload it to Launchpad so everyone knows where to go. All they gotta go to Launchpad and look for their project that they're involved with. The user can read the docs, find bugs, and file them on Launchpad. Contributors can fix said bugs. And we can export HTML from the Sphinx for project-based websites such as docs.xubuntu or docs-ubuntu that we have. The benefits: one language limits 1 or 2 languages, because I was going to let the teams that already have LaTeX stick with it. They can use pandoc if they want to. It's just too much docs for them to really change in human spec. But there is a tool that you can use pandocs to convert the LaTeX to restructure text. So having 1 or 2 languages versus all of these will limit incompatibility between our projects and will not allow double work to happen as least as possible. Contributors can easily just branch the projects right off the Launchpad rather than download HTML or something from the wiki. They have easy access to the PDF and ebook formats for their respective formats. And each project can help each other much more efficiently with having only 1 or 2 languages versus like 3 different wiki languages. Most of their stuff is On user base for like Docia for different projects. What was it? The one? They're using MediaWiki. Yeah, we moved over there because they let us host on their servers, and it's better than Muon. It's a low bar, yeah, but to be honest with you, that's actually the end of the slide, I think. And then I have my links. Yeah, one of the server maintainers was actually already moved some of it using Pandoc to GitHub and restructure text. He just used Pandoc to convert all of them. And they had a meeting, the last meeting, they were going to use the installation guide as a sample to try to restructure that into restructured text. We format that and see how that goes. That's why we were looking in if translations, how translation would be handled. It's pretty good. I converted restructured text in a doc book and restructured text into LaTeX, and it looked spot on. I don't think so. It's just more of the benefits of learning curve for new users and contributors to documentation. And if you make it easier even for users, I imagine developers will be much more easier to write it and more willing to write it and better documentation. Any more questions? Thanks, guys. Intro guide. It actually has no target right now. I think it's just going to be like a little back-end experimentation for right now, and then see if that works. And then with what are we, like 3 months, or what is it, 4 months to 15.10? I know there's a documentation freeze. I don't know the date. I think it's close to Debian freeze, I think. I'm not sure. No, there is a document. Is it? All right. Yeah, it's not target 1604. That's LTS. We want to make sure everything's good. Not in the long-term support. If it don't work, you just, yeah, easily. I know that's written in Mailin, something I think GNOME uses. The way that we do for Ubuntu is we upload it to user base KD page, then it's a script exports it to docbook, and then Key Help Center imports the docbook file, and that's how it's written. Yeah, somewhere along those lines. All right. Documentation. It would be going on in Ubuntu-doc IRC channel. I don't think it directly, as in which. Yeah. I know on the HTML, can't load it on this, the HTML page that Sphinx loaded out, it had a table of contents, the way it's formatting and everything. You can just import table of contents, whatever file you want, then put the docs into their own folder and organize things like that, and then have images in their own folder and everything. I haven't looked into videos. That might be up to the where you host them, where you host the documentation. Like the Sphinx will make a website locally in HTML made where you host it. You could embed videos in there. I don't know if format that will support that. I don't think it's designed for that. I know it can handle images. For the export that Sphinx puts out, I did not mess around with the CSS, but I know it gives you all the pages in the HTML, so I don't see why you couldn't just edit and move things around. You just put his here and
Citrix Zen Server gives you everything you need to integrate, manage, and automate a virtual data center, all on an enterprise-class, cloud-proven virtual platform, and at a third of the cost of other solutions. But why even bother with virtualizing your server infrastructure in the first place? Well, let's say you have a traditional one server to one application architecture, but you're running out of resources and performance is suffering. Once you order new server hardware, you'll wait for delivery, configure it, install your business application, stage and test the server, and finally, add it to your production farm. If you've been through this process before, you know it can take weeks or even months. You also know it's a manually intensive process that will burden your team every time you outgrow your current setup. With a virtual server solution, you could accomplish all of that in less than half a day. Server virtualization software separates the OS and application from the underlying server hardware. And with multiple virtual machines on a single server, you can use each of them to run different OSs and applications. This makes it possible to move your virtual machines from one piece of hardware to another whenever you want, to maximize utilization, simplify maintenance, or recover from a hardware failure, and without slowing down your applications or users. Clearly, server virtualization provides big benefits, and Citrix Zen Server provides even more. Since it's built on an open platform, Zen Server plays well with your existing hardware, storage systems, and IT management software, as well as with the industry's leading cloud service providers. Best of all, you can get started by downloading a fully functional, production-ready version of Zen Server for free. After a 10-minute installation process, you'll see how easy it is to start virtualizing your workloads and automating your IT management processes. And when you're ready for a richer set of management tools, just upgrade to one of the premium editions of Zen Server. So whether you're interested in virtualizing servers for the first time, expanding your server virtualization footprint, or moving server workloads to the cloud, download and install Zen Server today and see how it can help you simplify your IT environment. Citrix Zen Server. Do more. Don't spend more.
Your customers rely on your website or application. If it's slow or non-responsive, it infuriates your users and costs you money. Keeping your business-critical systems humming along requires insight into what they're doing. Your system metrics tell stories that can reveal performance bottlenecks, resource limitations, and other problems. But how do you keep an eye on all of your system's performance metrics in real time and record this data for later analysis? Enter Longview, the new way to see what's really going on under the hood. The Longview dashboard lets you visualize the status of all your systems, providing you with a bird's-eye view of your entire fleet. You can sort by CPU, memory, swap, processes load, and network usage. Click a specific system to access its individual dashboard, then click and drag to zoom in on choke points and get more detail. Comprehensive network data, including inbound and outbound traffic, is available on the Network tab, and disk writes and free space on the Disks tab, while the Process Explorer displays usage statistics for individual processes. The System Info tab shows listening services, active connections, and available updates. Adding Longview to a system is easy. Just click the button, copy the one-line installation command, then run the command on your Linux system to complete the process. The agent will begin collecting data and sending it to Longview. Then the graphs start rolling. Use Longview to gain visibility into your servers, so when your website or app heats up, it stays up.